はい、それでは今日もやっていきましょう。English Grammar In Use の音源を使ったシャドーイング。今日の、ユニットは、今日はユニット116から120をやっていきます。それではやっていきましょう。よーい、スタート We will be able to read as you were driving. As I walked along the street, I looked at the shop windows. Can you turn off the light if you go out, please?Kate slipped the getting the bus. Babe met the pool leaving the hotel. Just as I sat down, a doorbell rang. I had to leave the just conversation with getting interesting. As the day went on, it got worse. I began to enjoy the job more as I got used to it. I could drove her home. I listened to her music. When I got home, I had something to eat.As I was hungry, I decided to find something to eat. As I had plenty of time before I applied, let's go and have coffee. We watched TV all evening as we didn't have anything better to do. As I don't watch television anymore, I gave my TV a friend of mine. Since with a friend of time, let's go and have a coffee. I couldn't contact David as it was a holiday.David's parcel was stolen on a holiday. As I lived nearest, we used to quiet often. When they lived nearest, we used to see them quite often. What a beautiful house! It's like a palace. What does some don't do? She's a teacher like me. Be careful. The floor of the palace is like walking on the ice.It's raining again. I hate weather like this. What's that noise? It's a sound like a baby crying. I enjoy the water sports like surfing, scuba diving, and water skiing. I enjoy the water sports such as surfing, scuba diving, and water skiing. I didn't move anything. I left everything as it was.You should have done it as I showed you. I left everything like was. You should have done it as I showed you. Or, you should have done it like I showed you. You should have done it like this. You are late as usual. As always, Nick was the first to complain. You can do as you like. This is a promise.As you know, it's Emmy's birthday next week, and he failed his driving test as expected. As I said yesterday, I'm sure we can solve the problem. Or, like I said yesterday, I'm sure we can solve the problem. As a taxi driver, I spent most of the month working like in a car. Everyone in the most of the driving places.I'm like a taxi driver. Many years ago, I worked as a photographer. Many works, for example, works when the rain can be related to verbs in the lounge. London is a fine place to visit, but I wanted to like it there. The news of the tragedy came as a great show. That house looks like it's going to fall down.Helen's actually called you, didn't she? I've just got back from today, but feel tired. I don't feel like a holiday. That house looks like it's going to fall down. Helen said she had called, didn't she? I don't feel the go hard holiday. You look tired. You looked like you were slept. Sarah is very late, isn't she?It looks like she isn't coming. We took the umbrella because it looked like it will rain. But no, it's very loud next door. It's a sound that begging for the party. It looks as if she's coming. Or, it looks as if she's coming. It looks as if it's going to rain. It sounds as if the party.He learned the faces die.After the interruption, Spielberg went on talking that nothing happened. When I told them the plan, they looked at me with a mad. I don't like to him. He talks as if he knew everything. She's always asking me to do things for her, as if I didn't have enough to do already. Gary is only 40. Why do you talk about him if he was an old man? Why do you talk about him as this old man? They treat me as this old son. Oh, they treat me as if he was an old son. We watched TV for 2 hours last night. Jess is going away from weekend September. Where have you been? I've been waiting for ages. Are you going to wait for a weekend? I fell asleep during the movie. We met them really nicely during our holiday. The ground is wet. It must have rained during the night. It must have rained in the night. Oh, it must have rained during the night. I phoned you sometime during the afternoon. Oh, I phoned you sometime in the afternoon. It rained 3 days without stopping. I stopped during the movie. I was asleep for an hour. I fell asleep during the movie. I fell asleep when I was watching TV. We met a lot of interesting people during the holiday. We met a lot of interesting people while we holiday. Robert suddenly began to feel ill during the exam. Robert began to feel ill while we were doing the exam. We saw that Claire will be waiting for the bus. What? Was the phone call for you? Alex at work while I watch TV. I'm going to see Pop this week. I hope there's something for friends when there. What are you going to do while they're waiting? I sent the documents to them today, so they should receive it by Monday. We'd better hurry. We had to have to be home at 5 o'clock. Where's Sarah? She should be here by now. This milk has been used by the 14th of August. Shall we go now? No, let's wait until it stops raining. Oh, no, let's wait until it stops raining. I couldn't get up this morning. I stayed in bed at 10:30. Oh, I didn't get up until 10:30. Joe will be waiting until Monday. Joe will be back on Monday. I'll be working until 11:30. I have to finish my work by 11:30. It's too late to go to the bank now. By the time we get there, we'll be closed. Our holiday ends tomorrow, so by the time you receive this postcard, I'll be back home. Hurry up! By the time we get to the cinema, I will probably already started. Karen's car broke down on the way to the party last night. By the time she arrived, most of the other guests had left. I had a lot of work to do yesterday evening. I was very tired by the time we finished. We went to the cinema last night. It took a long time to find somewhere to park the car. By the time we got to the cinema, the film had already started. Karen finally got to the party at midnight. By then, most of the other guests had left. Oh, by the time most of the other guests had left, 2週目 We all waved goodbye to Liz as she drove away. As I walked along the street, I looked in the shop window. Can you turn off the light so if it goes out, please? Kate slipped that she would get off the bus. We met Paul leaving the hotel. Just as I sat down, the doorbell rang. I had lived just as the conversation was getting interesting. I just went home with a got worse. I began to enjoy the more I got used to it. I drove home. I listened to music. When I got home, I had something to eat. As finally, I decided to find somewhere to eat. as we had plenty of time before our flight. Let's go and have coffee. We watched TV all evening as we didn't have anything better to do. As I don't watch television anymore, I gave my TV to a friend of mine. Since we have plenty of time, let's go and have coffee. I couldn't contact David as he was on holiday. David's passport was stolen the holiday. As I live near Dallas, you used to climb it often. When it was really arrest, we used to just come quite often. With a beautiful house, it's like a Paris. What does Sandra do? She's a teacher like me. Be careful. The flowers being processed. It's walking on ice. Really, it's raining again. I hate the weather like this. What's the noise? It sounds like a baby crying. I enjoy water sports like surfing, scuba diving, and water skiing. I enjoy the water sports such as surfing, scuba diving, and water skiing. I didn't move anything. I left everything in what was. You should have done it as I showed you. I left everything like what was. You should have done it as I showed you. Or, you should have done it like showed you. You should have done it like this. You're right as usual. As always, Nick was the first time complaining. You can do as you like. They did the promise. As you know, it's Emma's birthday next week. Andy failed the driving test as he expected. As I said to you yesterday, I'm sure I can solve the problem. Or, like I said yesterday, I'm sure you can solve the problem. As a taxi driver, I spend most of the working life in the car. Everyone must do driving them to places. I'm like a taxi driver. Many years ago, I was a photographer. Many works, for example, work and rain can be related to the verbs or nouns. London is a fine place of the busy, but I wanted to live there. News of the tragedy came with a great show. That house looks like it's going to fall down. Helen sounded like it's cold, didn't she? I've just got back from holiday, but I feel very tired. I don't feel holiday. That house looks like it's going to fall down. Helen sounded in the cold, didn't she? I don't feel that I got a hard holiday. You look tired. You look like you slept. Sarah is very late, isn't she? It isn't coming. We took an umbrella because it looked like it was going to rain. But the noise is very loud next door. It sounds like we're going to have a party. It looks as if it's coming. Or, it looks as if it's coming. It looks as if it's going to rain. It sounds as they are having a party. He learned to blanket his life. After the interruption, the speaker went on talking if nothing happened. When the told about plan, they looked at him as mad. I don't like him. It talks as if he knew everything. She's always asking me to do something for her. It's not enough to do already. Gary is only 40. Why you don't talk about him as an old man? Why do you talk about him as if an old man? They treat me as if an old son. Or, they treated me as if he was an old son. We watched TV 2 hours last night. Jason is going to the week in September. Where have you been? I've been waiting for ages. Are you going to wait for the weekend? Are you fell asleep during the movie? We met some really nice people during our holiday. Ground is wet. It must rain during the night. It must have rained in the night. Or, it must have rained during the night. I found you sometime during the afternoon. Or, I found you sometime in the afternoon. It rained 3 days after the stopping. I fell asleep during the movie. I was asleep half an hour. I fell asleep during the movie. I fell asleep while I was watching TV. We met a lot of interesting people during our holiday. We met a lot of interesting people while our holiday. Robert suddenly began to feel ill during the exam. Robert suddenly began to feel ill while he was during the exam. So I cried to the bath. While you were out, was it just a phone call for you? Alex do black when I watch TV. I will go to that next week. I hope this is something when I'm there. And what are you going to do when we are waiting? I sent the document to them today, so they should receive them on Monday. With a better hurry, we had to be home by 5 o'clock. Where Sarah should be here by now. This milk has been used by the 14th of August. Shall we go now? No, let's wait until the stop the raining. Or, no, let's wait until stop the raining. I couldn't get up this morning. I stayed in the bed until 10:30. Or, I didn't get up at 10:30. Joe will be waiting on Monday. Joe is back on Monday. I'll be working until 11:30. I'll have finished my work by 11:30. It's too late to go to the bank now. By the time we get there, we'll be closed. Our holiday ends tomorrow, so by the time you receive this postcard, I'll be back home. Hurry up! By the time we get to the cinema, we filming will have already started. Karen's car broke down on the way to the party last night. By the time she arrived, most of the other guests had left. I had a lot of work to do yesterday evening. I was very tired but finished. We went to the cinema last night. It took us a long time to find somewhere to park the car. By the time we got to the cinema, we filmed had already started. Karen had finally got to the party near midnight. By then, most of the other guests had left. Or, by the time, most of the other guests had left. はい、終わりました。ちょっと途中お腹が痛くなりましたけれども、なんとか一旦停止して、やれました。また明日もやっていきましょう。それでは、バイ。